So when Ghostbusters 2016 was initially announced, it faced a lot of backlash from fans of the original franchise. But was it really that bad? Sometimes dubbed the female Ghostbusters movie, which I absolutely hate, by the way. This reboot of the iconic 1984 film stars Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy as scientists that are not taken seriously because their work is trying to prove the existence of ghosts. Along with Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones, the Ghostbusters fight for the recognition they've worked so hard for while saving New York City from a creepy incel who wants to break the barrier between the living and the dead. The backlash against Ghostbusters 2016 was intense. And a lot of it stemmed from this idea that like a certain faction of fans just felt entitled to ownership of the franchise. They didn't want it to change, especially not in a way that challenged their preconceived notions of who could be a Ghostbuster. I remember the reactions to this reboot being very strong and honestly a little reflective of the movie, given that the Ghostbusters are fighting against this like very creepy incel-esque character. Like, Rowan is incel energy personified. The discourse even created this iconic vine.
I mean, 4 female Ghostbusters? The feminists are taking over. I'm an adult virgin.
I remember that I saw the movie when it came out, but I apparently never talked about it on my channel. I searched all of the keywords I could think of, and I scrolled back on my channel back to summer of 2016 when that movie came out, and I couldn't find anything. And unfortunately, I didn't start using Letterboxd until 2017, so I don't have a log of when I went to go see it, so I don't even know what I rated it. I can tell that this was 2 years into my YouTube channel when this movie came out. And at that point, I was too scared to rock the boat by potentially saying something that might trigger the fanboys to come after me. So that's probably why I didn't say anything about it. Luckily, I've long since outgrown that fear. But with the latest 2 sequels out, I feel like nobody talks about the 2016 Ghostbusters anymore, and I just wanted to revisit it and see if the film really is that bad. So I started going back and looking for reviews of the movie back when they came out. I will save you specifics on the mind-numbingly idiotic comments. I'll just summarize. There was a part of the Ghostbuster fandom that expressed disappointment or outright anger about the reboot, feeling it disrespected the original film by pandering to political correctness or pushing an agenda. And a lot of that backlash came just from the film being announced. So most of this was before it even hit theaters. And most of the valid criticism that I could find was mostly about the writing, saying the humor kind of fell flat. So much of the backlash fell on Leslie Jones, who plays Patty in the film, a former MTA worker whose vast knowledge of New York City's history ends up being important for the team. Jones got death threats and even had to delete her Twitter for a while because the backlash was so bad, and I think she mentioned in an interview people were trying to hack her account. She wrote in her 2023 memoir, Leslie effing Jones, quote, "It wasn't just racism and misogyny either. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I was playing an MTA worker as though that was something I should be ashamed of. I tried to fight back. I was a comic. I was used to somebody heckling me. So for every piece of bullshit on Twitter, I had a reply." I decided to wade through all of that before I rewatched it because that was the discourse going on back then anyway, so it kind of just got me in the mindset of this movie. And the only thing maybe I can guess that I might have said about this when it first came out, I probably attempted to stay out of the line of fire, or like deflected saying, you know, my remake rule is that you have to do something different with it other than, you know, and it's fine other than that. So doing all of that, I went back in and rewatched it, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed the movie. The film did have its flaws, let's be for real, but it also had kind of moments of brilliance. The all-female cast brought a fresh perspective on the franchise. And it was fun seeing the characters be smart, funny, badass. Honestly, I think most of the incel fans were probably just jealous of all the cool gadgets that they had aside from the proton packs. And you can't deny that this reboot does bring something fresh and new to the franchise, just taking into consideration the fact that these are women and most of the characters are women in STEM, which is something you hear so many horror stories about in real life, from women in STEM not being taken seriously to experiencing outright misogyny and discrimination. The jokes were a little hit or miss for me. Really the only ones that didn't land were when they tried to like force in referential jokes to the original film. They just kind of felt forced and unnatural. I think just having some of the original cast pop up throughout the movie was enough of a nod, and those were cute moments. Other than that, I think the ghosts were gorgeous. Like, they felt unique and yet very appropriate to the franchise. At the end of the day, Ghostbusters 2016 may not have been perfect, but it was far from a disaster that some of the reactions made it out to be. And I asked y'all on Instagram because I was just curious as what you guys felt about it. And it seems like a lot of you agreed that you felt like the movie was okay, or you thought the movie was even fun, but the reaction was way overblown and basically just rooted in misogyny. And I agree. Even scrolling through Letterboxd, obviously now this film has been out for 8 years, so there's a lot of people commenting that maybe didn't watch it when it first came out and are watching it now, but it seems like the film may have a small cult following specifically dedicated to Kate McKinnon licking a proton gun. And it was pretty hot. It was just a fun, entertaining reboot that really just set out to introduce a new generation to the world of Ghostbusters. And I think that's what this film just boils down to, is representation. It's important despite what the cishet incels are about to tell me in the comments of this video. So was Ghostbusters 2016 really that bad? No, it was not. It wasn't perfect, but remakes rarely are. I can name a couple right off the dome that were way worse than this remake. Nightmare on Elm Street, Martyrs, Prom Night, Poltergeist, The Fog. I would love to hear your genuine thoughts on Ghostbusters 2016 in the comments. You can check out my review of Ghostbusters Afterlife. I haven't seen Frozen Empire yet, so I don't have anything to link for you there. But if you've seen that one already, let me know if it's worth checking out in theaters in the comments. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.